1. When conducting TSA driver safety training for new hires, which adult learning principle should the instructor emphasize most? A. Passive listening and note taking. B. Hands on vehicle inspection simulations. C. Lecture only instruction. D. Unstructured group discussions. 2. A TSA training coordinator evaluates driver performance after a hazardous material transport scenario. Which evaluation method best assesses applied knowledge? A. Written multiple choice quiz. B. Practical field performance observation. C. Attendance log review. D. Self-assessment only. When developing a TSA driver curriculum, the first step in ensuring effective content design is A. Listing vehicle types. B. Conducting a needs analysis of required competencies. C. Scheduling training dates. D. Printing driver manuals. 4. A mentor provides immediate corrective feedback after a trainee mishandles a checkpoint inspection. This technique reinforces which adult learning principle? Self-pacing. B. Immediate reinforcement. C. Delayed evaluation. Memorization. 5. Which federal regulation mandates proper documentation of vehicle safety checks for TSA certified drivers? A. 49 CFR Part 395. B. 49 FR Part 396. C. 40 CFR Part 112. D. 29 CFR Part 1910. 6. During a mentoring session, a TSA driver trainee expresses difficulty understanding inspection protocols. The mentor should first A. Repeat the instruction louder. B. Assess the trainee's learning style and adapt teaching methods. C. Assign additional reading. D. Move to the next topic. 7. The most effective way to evaluate TSA drivers' compliance with federal safety standards during retraining is through A. Written policy review. B. On-the-road compliance observation. C. Classroom testing only. D. Annual group discussions. 8. When developing curriculum content for TSA driver training, which component ensures instructional alignment? A. Clearly stated measurable learning objectives. B. Personal teaching preference. C. Broad topic outlines. D. Randomized task order. 9. Effective communication for TSA drivers during security operations should always prioritize A. Speed of communication. B. Accuracy and clarity under pressure. Use of technical jargon. D. Avoidance of radio contact. 10. Which evaluation method is best for measuring the effectiveness of a TSA driver's response to emergency drills? A. Peer evaluation only. B. Supervisor observation with standardized rubric. C. Unstructured self-report. D. Post-drill questionnaire only. 11. A TSA mentor uses storytelling to describe real-world driving scenarios. This teaching approach primarily supports A. Visual learners. B. Experiential and reflective learning. C. Written test performance. D. Memorization of rules. 12. The final step in developing a TSA driver training evaluation system should be to A. Analyze outcomes to improve future programs. B. Issue certificates only. C. File paperwork for completion. D. Stop data collection. 13. When implementing a new TSA driver training program, formative evaluation is conducted to assign final grades. B. Improve instructional delivery during training. C. Certify completion status. Summarize total program outcomes. 14. A TSA training manager integrates video-based simulations into driver training. This instructional tool primarily enhances A. Cognitive engagement and scenario realism. B. Passive retention. C. Written test accuracy. D. Administrative reporting. 15. A critical mentoring practice in TSA driver development is A. Providing constructive feedback focused on performance improvement. B. Avoiding feedback to maintain independence. C. Evaluating only at annual reviews. D. Delivering generic praise. 16. Which adult learning principle is applied when TSA driver trainees are encouraged to draw from past transportation experience? A. Orientation to learning. B. Readiness to learn. C. Relevance of experience. D. Self-directed learning. In TSA driver operations, communication failures often result from overclarification. B. Lack of standardized terminology and active listening. C. Consistent use of codes. D. Frequent updates. 18. The best way to ensure regulatory compliance documentation for TSA vehicle logs is A. Store them in digital, time-stamped records per 49 CFR Part 396. B. Keep handwritten notes. C. Submit only upon request. D. Record monthly summaries. 18. The TSA driver curriculum should include objectives that are A. General and conceptual. B. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART. C. Informal and broad. D. Based on instructor preference. 20. A training evaluation that measures how TSA drivers apply safety concepts during actual transportation routes is an example of A. Summative evaluation. B. Transfer of learning assessment. C. Diagnostic testing. D. Baseline evaluation. 21. In mentoring new TSA drivers, promoting reflection after each shift encourages A. Surface level review. B. Continuous improvement and self-assessment. C. Avoidance of errors. D. Documentation only. 22. To comply with TSA's training regulations, instructors must maintain accurate records of A. Instructor personal notes. B. Trainee evaluations and certifications. C. Meeting attendance. D. Only daily briefings. 23. A TSA driver training manager schedules periodic mock inspections. This practice best supports A. Reinforcement of procedural compliance. B. Administrative reporting. C. Policy writing. Break scheduling. 24. Which communication strategy is most effective during multi-agency security coordination? A. Using standardized radio codes and concise phrasing. B. Personal interpretation of policies. C. Relying on body language only. D. Delaying messages until review. 25. Which regulatory body governs TSA driver medical certification and safety compliance? A. Department of Homeland Security, DHS. B. Department of Transportation, DOT. C. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA. D. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. 26. A TSA trainer aligns course materials with performance-based outcomes. This demonstrates adherence to A. Curriculum design principles. B. Random instructional methods. C. Administrative scheduling. D. Grading policy enforcement. 27. When evaluating TSA driver knowledge retention, which assessment ensures validity and reliability? A. Scenario-based performance testing. B. Group brainstorming. C. Attendance logs. D. Open discussion. 28. The best method to mentor a TSA driver who struggles with route security awareness is to A. Use scenario repetition and reflective questioning. B. Assign independent reading. C. Ignore the issue until review. D. Extend shift hours. 29. When a TSA instructor modifies delivery methods for trainees with varied experience levels, it reflects A. Differentiated instruction. B. Standardized testing. C. Predictive evaluation. D. Directive management. 30. In regulatory compliance, failure to maintain daily driver inspection logs may result in A. Minor warning only. B. Suspension of certification and penalties. C. Performance feedback. D. Optional reinspection. 31. TSA driver mentors use shadow driving sessions to evaluate real-time decision-making and safety awareness. B. Record attendance only. C. Assess written exam performance. D. Replace training evaluations. Effective adult learning in TSA training programs depends on A. Engagement through relevant and problem-centered scenarios. B. Continuous lecture-based delivery. C. Strict memorization drills. D. Fixed testing formats. 33. When evaluating TSA driver trainers, which criterion reflects instructional effectiveness? A. Improvement in trainee performance metrics. B. Length of teaching experience. C. Amount of content delivered. D. Instructor seniority. 34. The most critical communication skill during TSA checkpoint operations is A. Active listening and situational awareness. B. Speaking quickly. C. Avoiding feedback loops. D. Using complex terminology. 35. Which evaluation tool is used to monitor TSA driver compliance with route security standards? A. Route audit checklist. Monthly quiz. C. Attendance certificate. D. Peer review form. 36. During mentorship, a TSA driver trainee should be encouraged to A. Set personal development goals and track progress. B. Follow only mentor instructions. Avoid self-assessment. Prioritize task quantity over quality. 37. Which regulation governs the safe transportation of hazardous materials relevant to TSA drivers? A. 49 CFR Part 172. B. 49 Part 391. C. 40 CFR Part 110. D. 29 CFR Part 1915. 38. Curriculum updates for TSA driver certification must align with current DHS and FMSA regulations. B. Outdated safety codes. C. Trainer preference. D. Trainee feedback only. 39. In a TSA driver retraining session, role-playing an emergency checkpoint scenario enhances A. Experiential learning and confidence under pressure. B. Theoretical memorization. C. Administrative compliance. D. Policy writing.